What is going on, YouTube? Hello and welcome back, you juicy mortal souls. It is Friday. It's your bro, Crypto Bro. We're back at it again with another edition of the daily live stream. It is Friday. technically early Saturday morning. I still view it as Friday. Hello, how are you? I hope everyone is doing extremely well, extremely happy and healthy. We got plenty of things to talk about here in today's market. A couple of crucial indicators coming up in some of these traditional stocks here today. So, I want to just hop right into it without further ado. We're obviously going to go ahead and start off with NASDAQ here, continuing down after confirming this region here at 15,006 as new tentative resistance. Continuation drive as a result, and we are starting to see a little bit of weakness here in the market via the momentum oscillator perspective here. RSI continuing its break further below the bullish control zone here, and we do see the exponential is finally below the bullish control zone as well after this top call. We do see this resistance that's been holding as clear resistance for quite some time, all the way for a while. Actually, we have a lot of resistance along this region here, all the way starting back in 2020, the 9th of June here in 2020, still holding its tentative resistance. Although we do see the short fork off diagonal support trend line here on the RSI still holding valid. I do believe it is now under pressure here. Warning shots are being fired in NASDAQ, in my personal opinion, putting a little bit of pressure on that 21 exponential. What am I looking for? Again, for this one, I'm either looking for a breakthrough, which, to be quite honest with you, I'm not convinced of. I'm looking for, a bounce. I'm not convinced of a bounce. I got my words mixed up. I'm not convinced of a bounce here. I'm actually convinced that maybe we do see this structure start to fail to the downside here. We see ESI and Dow Jones, playing out with some interesting price action that we'll get involved in here coming up next. But for now, today's daily candle closure did close above the 21 exponential, but we are putting a lot of pressure along this region here. Looking at the other markets, it leads me to believe that this is likely to break coming into Monday's open here. Any candle closure below that 21 exponential, I'll look for the following day to open and close below, confirming it as new tentative resistance before looking for a general pullback all the way to this region down here, 15,180 bucks. This prior major support level here. And that's kind of going to be, my first target, assuming price action does meet that condition. However, expect nothing, plan for everything, right? That's basically my freaking mantra around here. Expect nothing, plan for everything. While we have the disposition to the downside, we do see stochastics, finally gaining momentum to the downside, RSI gaining momentum to the downside. It doesn't mean that price action has to move down below the 21 exponential. If we do get a bounce off of this, I won't be convinced of a higher low, at least until we take out this candle closures open, 15,555, right? Any candle closure above there, I will look for a kind of a bottom arrow here on RSI before looking for continuation past this resistance line at 15,600. The first target, obviously, I would be looking for is the all-time high. Am I convinced that this is the most likely outcome? To be quite honest with you, looking at the other markets and the way the other markets are playing out, no, this is not. Again, I don't trade my opinion, and I am going to give you a little bit of my opinion, but in my opinion, I do think NASDAQ breaks, and just like the other two assets we're going to cover here. And we have clear indications here, especially if we see stochastics here cross below that 80 read, that crucial 80 read, that critical zone right here. I'll be very convinced of a much more major pullback here. RSI already kind of given us like one of those early warning signals that this may, this formation may break to the downside unless we, hold support, hold the 21 exponential, put in a low, and continue onwards and upwards. I think the pressure is to the downside for NASDAQ. And I'll go over one of the reasons why here. SPY futures here breaking structure, closing a daily candle closure below the 21 exponential, and look at the negativity on that exponential right now. Really just been forced on one candle here, straight to the downside, breaking this parallel channel to the upside, definitely leading me to believe that on Monday's open here we will be looking for new tentative resistance to be tested. I will look for price action to bounce back to test the 21 exponential or continue further down. Any candle closure coming on Monday, yes, Monday and Monday alone, below the 21 exponential here, I will be very convinced that price action is likely to move all the way down to this prior low right here at 43, we'll call it 43.90, maybe even a little bit lower. to about 43.78, as I do, I will be looking for a unprecedented change of behavior here on this market. Again, I could be proven wrong. It's just a hunch. It is just a theory. But again, we have plenty of evidence on the charts here, especially in momentum oscillators and with that breakage structure here, telling us that the momentum is to the downside. On the all-time high here, we got bearish divergence rejecting the bottom side of the bullish control zone. Boom! Straight shot through the exponential, forcing it to a negative slope. Now we do see this diagonal, like little fork off here, is no longer valid. That structure has been broken, and now we are looking at a significant test of this diagonal uptrend line here. If this structure breaks, I will be very convinced that things are potentially going to turn for the worst as far as the bullish perspective is concerned for SPY futures here. Again, warning shot fired on stochastics as well with a break below the 80 read here. I take this as a critical read. Very important read here with that sharp decline below that 80 read. We were above this fully yesterday on yesterday's daily candle closure here, and now today we see the extreme momentum forcing stochastics near the bottom side of the bullish control zone here in one fell swoop. One daily candle closure, it took stochastics here just above the 80 read all the way below to the bottom side of the bullish control zone. That is a significant show of bearish momentum here on the daily time frame. And with that said, again, the condition that I am going to be looking for is a secondary candle closure. Even if we close just below the 21 exponential, that will be enough confirmation for me to look for those lower targets to the downside. First being 44.20, followed by potentially even 43.78, maybe 43.80 would be the technical targets to the downside. But expect nothing, prepare for everything. While I do believe this market is looking for a potential turn here, we could argue that we are still on a higher low basis. We could easily move our diagonal trend line here and make this a little bit more of a wedge formation rather than a parallel channel formation, and that would be considered valid in my opinion. If we do, confirm a higher low here, I'll have no reason not to think that this market won't continue to be bullish here. We are on the precipice of, a little bit of an overturn. Again, RSI coming real close to that 50 read here. That is a critical signal if broken, and stochastics has already initiated a critical signal. Looking for another critical signal here below the 65 read. Price action continuing below the 21 exponential, and RSI and stochastics continuing to follow through to the downside is a very big piece of evidence that suggests the probability for more downside movement is the likely call here. But again, I can be wrong. Again, I don't prepare for me to be right or wrong, right? I prepare for the upside, the downside, consolidation. I prepare for plenty of different kind of movements here within the market. And if you fail to plan, your plan is to fail, right? Which is why I stick to the specific strategy that I'm looking at. We have a warning shot fired here with the daily candle closure below the 21 on SPY futures. Technically, we have a break of structure if we move this line back to a parallel channel and a break of support as well. So warning shots are being fired here on SPY futures, and I do believe if we see continuation on SPY futures, likely we see NASDAQ start following through as well. And here is why I'm convinced that maybe we start seeing a little bit of a turnaround here. Coming to Dow Jones, boom! Change of behavior, absolutely fucking confirmed here. Absolutely confirmed. We have, as of now, in my opinion, a confirmed downtrend. Why? I will explain to you why. Here's your all-time high. Boom. Followed by a low, technically a higher low at the time. Followed by this consolidation structure that is confirmed as a new tentative lower high, followed by this follow-through formation to new lows. We have taken this low out here, and I am convinced that Dow Jones is confirmed change of behavior. So what am I looking for here? To be quite honest with you, I'm looking for follow-through. Yeah, maybe we see a little bit of a bounce up back above support, but I am not looking for price action to confirm a closure above support. We indeed on a micro scale here have a change of behavior, and I'm going to be looking for continuation all the way back down to this low here at 3,400. We'll just call it 34,000, right on the money here. This is going to be the next tentative target. It doesn't have to make it all the way down there, but somewhere in this general region is kind of where I'm looking for price action to meet. However, you could argue at the same time that we are on a diagonal uptrend structure. Oh, maybe not. Maybe fucking not. Maybe I gotta change that. I gotta change the appearance of that so it's easy to see for you guys. Give me 1 second. I was kind of playing around with this earlier today. Gonna go with a line 2x. Boom. We're gonna delete it now. Yeah, so if I do this, if I plot this trend line here, break a structure, we don't have a trend line, technically, in my opinion. Yeah, you could argue, yeah, we have a trend line right there. I'm more comfortable with saying from a candle body closure structure, this was the valid trend line to be looking at here. We have a clear break of structure, clearly seeing momentum below the 21 exponential, break of support, looking for new tentative resistance coming into Monday. If we confirm this this tentative resistance line as resistance 34,700 on Monday's candle closure here, man, I have no reason to be looking for price action to move all the way down to roughly $34,000 even. A nice $1,500 $600 move, to be quite honest with you. It doesn't have to happen initially, but we are seeing these candles are starting to gain a lot more momentum here. RSI breaking that structure, no longer valid. Structure is broken. Critical read below the 50 signal here, now putting a lot of pressure on that long-term diagonal upline structure that we've been looking at for quite some time. And any closure below there, I'm going to be very convinced the market's getting ready to do something funky to the downside. Again, I could be wrong, just because I think the market's going to come to the downside doesn't mean it has to happen, but stochastics suggests the same here. Lower high structure, back below the 50 read here, critical signal confirmed. I'm going to be looking for continuation to the downside no matter what here. Again, unless proven otherwise, I could be proven otherwise, at which point I do have a plan. If, for whatever reason, price action decides to revert back up and confirm it, like a macro higher low here, I'll be looking for price action to come back to the top side of blue box territory, test that 21 exponential once again. But the fact that we remain below it right now, we're seeing significant momentum below the 21. I'm going to be looking for more rejection along that region. And unless we close candles and open and closure back above the 21, I have no bullish sentiment to the upside. But for argument's sake, if we do close above the 21 exponential here, again, with an open enclosure above the 21 exponential, I will be looking for the top side resistance here, the current high, 35,500 to be the next target to be tested to the upside. But we have plenty of evidence, you guys. We have plenty of evidence that suggests otherwise. Again, that's my personal opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'll never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. But the way that things are looking right now, I think a turn is definitely likely here. So that's going to do it for Dow Jones. I wonder what Dixie is doing here today. U.S. dollar index, nice little bounce of support here. This doesn't really mean anything to me just yet, right? I believe maybe we have a little bit of a consolidation phase opening up here with candle body closures. So I'm going to be paying attention to two specific regions here. The top side resistance at 92.80 and the bottom side support at 92.52. If either one of those breaks, we'll say the bottom side of the bottom side breaks here, a closure below support, I will be looking at this structure as a lower high and looking for continuation to the current low at 92.1 even. However, if we see price revert with a secondary candle closure above the 21, I'll be a little more convinced that maybe this is kind of a higher low structure in a sleuth of higher low structures here, with price action potentially continuing to the first target all the way up to 92.97 would be the first general region that I'm looking at. Give me 1 second. Ooh, all this talking, you guys. Holy crap. Gets my throat all dry, right? I'm a little weary. I'm a little bit weary, right? I'm not looking for any kind of trades or anything. I do believe maybe we see some kind of consolidation phase play out for a couple of days, maybe even a week, but we do see a support on that 50 read here, which is kind of confident inducing that maybe we don't see a break of structure. We actually saw the 50 read here break and then bounce off the exponential back above that 50 read. So that is something to be aware of. Long-term structure still very much intact, in my opinion, basing a higher low structure right here. So this could be this could prove to be the turn that we're looking for continuation on that that longer term bull run to the upside here. And that's pretty much it for the U.S. dollar index. Again, two basic levels that I'm looking at. I'm not looking at anything higher or lower. I'm looking at the 21 and these two levels here. Stochastics breaking through the bottom side or the top side of the bearish control zone. So again, another indication that maybe the bulls revert this back to the upside. We confirm that as a structural higher low, and we continue to new highs here. So that's going to be it for Dixie. What is next? Bitcoin. Oh, I love Bitcoin. Oh my God. So I wanted to give you guys an example of risk management here on Bitcoin today. I wanted to give you a little bit of an example, a little bit of a taste of how I manage my positions, just for educational purposes. Again, this little green line here is my break-even point, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean where price action is, this is my break-even point in relation to the location of the 21 exponential. So what that means is when, if price action continues to, pull pressure to the downside, once the 21 reaches this point here, I will officially be break-even. Obviously, from a hopium perspective, I'm looking for price action to just fucking die already, and really fully play out a bear market, force that 21 into it. But, I expect nothing, right? I expect nothing. I plan for everything. So my position is still playing out very nicely on Bitcoin here today. We saw today's candle open excuse me, open up, wick up all the way to 47,000 bucks. Boom, swift rejection. Come into today, I wanted to take profit along this region. I opened up a little bit of a limit order here. I think I sold maybe 10% of the position overall. Took a little bit of a profit when price action moved down to this support level here. Boom, tested it, take profit. I'm a happy man. I got to take a little bit of money off the table here today. I don't like to leave money on the table, especially when I'm in the green. And now we're seeing this region here hold at support. Am I expecting it to continue to hold at support? Expect nothing. Expect nothing. But what am I looking at here? Again, obvious change of behavior. Obvious change of behavior right here after this debacle of a decline from 52,800 bucks, following through that 21 exponential, opened a position here, and now I mitigate my risk off that position, right? So what am I looking at here? We did hold this region as support. It wouldn't be out of the question to, maybe see a little bit of a consolidation phase here open up, between this support and this resistance, the resistance level being 47,000 even, and the support level being 44,650, we'll call it 44,650. So those are the two lines that I'm paying attention here to. If we do get a candle closure confirmed below 44,600, my next take profit is going to be very, very, very healthily on my mind here, as I'll be looking for price action to move all the way down to 42,240 as the next tentative target here for price action, obviously following through with that change of behavior. And to be quite honest with you, I would look for a significant bounce along this region, because while we're not in a downtrend technically, we don't have a lower high just yet. All we have are lower lows. We still need to see that lower high get rejected before we can officially call a downtrend, right? While this move is tradable, we still cannot call a trend until we see that confirmation. But coming down to $42,000, bouncing back up to $47,000, printing a lower high right here. If we do confirm a lower high at $47,000, I'll be very convinced that longer term bear market is likely to begin playing out here. Again, we've been looking at the overall structure for quite some time. When in doubt, pull out. This is a lower high. This is a structural lower high. There's no way to argue against that fact here. This is a structural lower high in conjunction with the all-time highs over here, and we are potentially looking at the precipice of a year-long bear market. Why do I say that? Well, we'll go over here to a different Bitcoin chart right now. We'll turn off the 21 exponential. We'll bring up the Huff 104, right? Zoom in, take a look at a couple of examples here on the weekly, and the weekly time frame has obviously been getting this pretty well for quite some time. Looking at the first example all the way back in 2013, right? And I want to cover this all the time just for educational purposes, because in my opinion it matters. This indicator here matters here. We do see the blow off top in 2013, about November of 2013. Start printing lower high structures, but we get that indication with the first break below the Huff 104, followed by a back test to confirm its tentative resistance, and then what happens? Boom! Year-long bear market. Then we come over here, get the confirmation of the bull market, runs all the way up to 2017, that $20,000 blow off top here. Nice little sharp decline below the Huff 104, followed by a back test to confirm it is resistance. Boom! Year-long bear market. We got the coronavirus crash is another perfect example. Obviously this is one of the examples that doesn't initiate a year-long bear market, but we saw some bearish activity right here. Break below, back test, reject. Boom, coronavirus crash. Easily tradable in my opinion. Followed by what? Bull market to the 2021 all-time high at 65,000. First initial break of the Huff 104. Come back up. Back test. Rejection. If we get a candle closure below last week's open here, I will be very convinced that the downside is the most likely outcome for Bitcoin, as I do believe this would be that critical indication that tells us, hey, we might be looking at a year-long bear market. Targets to the downside, don't care. I don't care about potential, I'm not looking for that $13,000 Bitcoin, right? I want to play it level by level. I want to play it the way the chart tells me to play it. So we'll come back here to the daily time frame, look at the specific targets that we're looking at here. To the upside, I do want to mention, it's not out of the question to see a pull back into that 21. I gotta bring it back up. Give me a second. CT Mac, motherfucker. Wouldn't be out of the question to see, we could even see that lower high structure here on Bitcoin pull up into that 21 and confirm now. That would not be out of the question, although I do think the pressure is to the downside on Bitcoin a little bit more. It wouldn't be out of the question to see a pop back up to resistance, maybe even up to the 21 exponential. Test it once again as resistance before continuing to the downside. If we do get a closure above the 21 exponential, you could argue that we're looking at a structural higher low from this point here, which I'll highlight. Give me a second. From this point here to this point here, you could definitely argue that this is a higher low structure. You wouldn't be wrong, especially if we get confirmation, right? If we get confirmation that this is a higher low structure, I might have to change my game plan, right? That's why I have a plan for everything. Plan for everything, guys. Plan for everything and expect nothing, right? I don't expect the market to do exactly what I desire it to do. I plan for different avenues of approach so that if it doesn't go my way, it still goes my way on the other side, right? That's where the profits come into play. So that's kind of how I'm looking at Bitcoin as far as price action is concerned. We'll go ahead and check out the momentum oscillators. What are they telling us here? We got RSI. RSI below that 50 read here. Obviously a controlled break of structure here. Now looking at a little bit of a back test of that 50 read here, I am looking at this with bearish goggles. I am looking at the 50 read to potentially get rejected here. Again, that would be with any candle closure below this this resistance level here at 47,000. I would be very convinced that we reject the 50 read and start aiming momentum back to the downside. Very, very, very critical read here below the 50 line here on stochastics. Again, coming off of that bearish divergence play that absolutely savagely rejected that 80 read, that the critical bearish control zone read here. Boom, right? And I was mentioning to you guys, right? This wasn't something that you couldn't have planned for. I most certainly plan for this potential here. I definitely mentioned in a couple of the streams here that as price action rose to this resistance, a key, critical, historical resistance level, that it was very possible to play out some bearish divergence and get absolutely shreked from this region. And look what happened. Absolutely got shreked from that region. Bearish divergence on the RSI confirmed. Bearish divergence on the stochastics confirmed. We are seeing momentum follow through below the critical 50 read on both, while price action remains below the 21 exponential. So my targets are as follows. Any candle closure below 44,700. The first target I'm going to be looking for is 42,300. Likely lower in my opinion, but that is my next take profit level. I want to play it level by level. I don't want to say, yep, we're going to play in this blue box territory because I could be wrong. So the first target I'm going to be looking for is 42,300, and that's kind of how I'm looking at Bitcoin, guys. I do believe it is time for AMC. AMC is the one that I have been excited about. Continuation to new highs here today, up towards that $50.20 region, back above, confirming this region here as tentative support. Wouldn't be out of the question to see a little bit of a pullback, fully and officially test the $48 region, but generally speaking, we're above the 21 exponential. The momentum oscillators are continuing to climb. I am generally looking for continuation on AMC until proven otherwise, and again, that proof otherwise would be a candle closure below the 21 exponential with an open and closure on the following day to confirm it as new tentative resistance. For now, target is still the same. 50. We'll just call it $54 is going to be the next target here that I'm looking for on AMC. Let's see if we got that lined up perfectly. I want to be as close as possible. Yeah, about 40. Yeah, but $54 is going to be the next general target here that I'm looking for price action to achieve. We do see stochastics deep in the bullish critical zone here, gaining momentum. I do like this. New highs, definitely new highs. So the talk about bearish divergence, in my opinion, is off the fucking table at this given point in time. AMC achieved that. RSI achieving new highs as well. No talks of bearish divergence on that as well. Exponential is above the 50 read and sloped positively. RSI is sloped positively. All lines pointing to continuation to the upside. Wouldn't be out of the question to see a little bit of a higher low structure, right? Our last low was confirmed on the 26th of August. It wouldn't be out of the question to pull below this support level here at 47, we'll call it 48 bucks, and test this region here, 44.93 to confirm a new higher low here. And if we do confirm a new higher low, maybe even all the way back to the 21 to confirm a higher low, wouldn't be out of the question, right? We haven't gotten that higher low call since the 26th, so it's been a little bit, it's been a little over 2 weeks since we've seen any kind of significant pullback to confirm a higher low structure. So that would not be out of the question either, and obviously reversal isn't out of the question as well. But again, as long as price action remains above that 21 exponential, I'm very confident with price action moving onwards and upwards to the north. Let's take a look at the Hall of Fame here, and then I'll get on to the requests here, of which I only have 2. It looks like it will be a little bit of a shorter stream tonight here. Hall of Fame still closing below that 21, sticking to my trading rules, and I'm still looking for price action to move to the downside. RSI still below that 50 read, testing the exponential as we speak. Wouldn't be out of the question to see that reject, but if we close above the 21 exponential come Monday, Tuesday, whenever, if we close above the 21 exponential before seeing some kind of reversal to the downside, I will be very convinced that this is indeed a higher low structure based on the $2.85 support, right? Lower, base low right here, followed by a higher low. If we get this higher low, right? If we get this higher low to confirm, we will have a confirmed uptrend, and I will have no reason not to look for price action to move all the way up to $3.75. That would be my first general target after the initial confirmation of an uptrend here. But guess what? It's not fucking confirmed, guys. Always wait for confirmation. It is so important to wait for confirmation. You do not want to say, yep, this is a higher low. It's definitely a higher low, because we're below the 21 exponential. And per my trading rules here, as long as we are below the 21 exponential, I am looking for price action to move south. The reason being is because it's my trading rules. It's in my journal as a specific trading rule, and I got to stick to my rules. That's how you profit. If you don't stick to your rules, you're violating, your trading fundamentals, and you're liable to lose money as a result of violating your own trading rules. So we're below the 21. Yes, we're putting pressure on it. That is true. Yes, but we are still seeing it reject. We are still seeing it hold resistance, and as long as it holds resistance, I have no reason to think the price action won't fall all the way back down to $2.84 and potentially even lower. We could also see a little bit of a microstructural lower high here, and if we do get a lower high here, I will be very convinced the price action all the way down to $2.55 is going to be the next move here for the Hall of Fame. Stochastics dipping below that 50 read here, not good in my opinion. Not a good signal here. And again, look at this momentum. Straight down, right? Like no time for delay on this momentum here. The momentum is definitely pushing south, right, on the stochastics. RSI giving a little bit of that coily here. This one obviously reacts off of price action a little more less static like. So again, this is why I think it is potential to see a higher low structure here, because we do see RSI bouncing back above the exponential, barely, but above the exponential it is nonetheless, and the exponential has been forced back to a positive slope. So there are points for the bearish perspective and there are points for the bullish perspective. My thing is, I don't care which way it goes. I have plans for both sides, right? You plan for everything and expect nothing. Expect nothing. Expect nothing. So I don't expect shit. I want to see what Monday has in store for us, because the more we use this as resistance, the more I'm going to be confident that price action is going to be forced to the downside. But if we get that higher low structure, I do believe new highs are likely to be the result here for the Hall of Fame. I think it is time for requests. Let's see what we got today. Our moderator, Corey, says, Piton! He wants Piton. No time frames were given, so I am going to stick with the daily here, obviously. Oh, confirmation, bro! Not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor. We got confirmation. Absolutely fucking exciting price action here. Stochastics back above that critical 30 read here. Obviously still not looking at new highs, but this is a sharp momentum swing here for the stochastics, forcing it back above that 30 read into the bearish control zone. I look at that as a confirmation signal number 1, confirmation signal number 2. Oh bro, come on. 50 read, broken, new highs, RSI, boom, exponential, back to a positive slope. Confirmation signal number 2, confirmation signal number 3 and 4 and 5. Number 3. Secondary candle closure above the 21. Read number 4, a closure above the 109.77 resistance. Confirmation number 5, a closure above the $113.11 resistance. The target has been met. The target has been met. The target has been met. I love technical analysis. And you know what? I love anybody that fucking argues with technical analysis, because if this doesn't fucking prove to you that it works, I don't know what will. I don't know what will prove it to you. I don't know. I can't help you. I'm not here to help you. Well, I kind of am, but you know. I you know, in my opinion, man. Again, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but if I was trading this asset, dude, I'd be entering right fucking now. We got that secondary candle closure above the 21 exponential, and barring any other signals like horizontal support and resistance, RSI, and stochastics, if I was trading the 21 blindly, which I tend to do sometimes, I would take this signal blindly. Obviously, it wouldn't be out of the question to see a little bit of a back test all the way down to 109.61. We'll just call it 110 bucks. It wouldn't be out of the question to see a back test to 110 bucks to confirm his new tentative support, but we got a nice explosive movement with nice explosive momentum and a nice explosive candle, a secondary candle closure above that 21 to confirm a legitimate signal. The fact that we confirmed that signal, I am going to be looking for new highs all the way up here at 121.12 as the next tentative target, unless proven otherwise. And the only proof as of right now otherwise would be a flash crash back below the 21 exponential. If that condition is met, we will have a structural lower high in conjunction with the prior high here, and I will have no reason not to think the downtrend won't continue. But look at the momentum here. Look at that momentum, you guys, right? Lots of momentum here, lots of buy pressure, nice confirmed signal. Like I said, you got 5 signals. Two resistances were broken, secondary candle closure above the 21, 50 read has been broken on RSI, and the 30 read on stochastics has been broken. That's a signal, you guys. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Read the goddamn description. But from my perspective, if I was trading this, I'd have bought it today. I'd have bought it right now. Like, obviously, I'm not trading it. I do think it is really expensive to put in money per share for this one. But obviously, if I was trading this, I do think this is a structural high or low right here. Right, we can do a little bit of a diagonal trend line from this point to this point. Pressure to the upside is very evident, and maybe we could be in the precipice looking at the first sign of reversal here on the daily time frame for Piton. Very exciting. I am excited to see how this plays out on Monday. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the last one here, and then I'm gonna play some fucking Subnautica. Fubo TV. Boom. Do we have a low? We have a low. We have an uptrend, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we have uptrend continuation. High. First low. This is a higher low. High. Yeah. This is uptrend continuation confirmation. Bouncing off that 21 exponential. Still above the 21 exponential. The only thing that I'm looking at here as a little concerning is the fact that we keep meeting this region here at 30.50 as resistance. We do see stochastics waning to the downside a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and get those. Critical zones here plotted out on stochastics for ease of mind here. Right. We're gonna bring it up. Settings. Change that to 65. Hit OK. We're going to get the bearish control zone in as well. 35. Settings. We're going to adjust that. 35. Boom. So, with price action confirming, a higher low here. Again, I have no reason not to look for price action to continue to this region here at 31.60. Again, target has been met. Target has been met. Target has been met. Right? If you plan for everything, right? 9 times out of 10, something that you planned is going to play out. Something that you planned is going to play out. And the first thing I planned for this one is, we bounced off the 21. Continuation to this target here is likely. Guess what? The target has been met. Or, we see a rejection of this resistance here back below 21, which we didn't see, but it was one of the things that I was playing for, just because I saw a little bit of waning momentum here on stochastics. But that... I think the RSI is getting this one a little bit more. The only thing that is a little bit questionable here is the potential for bearish divergence. If we do get a new high on price action and fail to see a new high on RSI, it is likely that bearish divergence is going to play out. Although that's a little bit of hindsight. Hindsight's 2020, you guys, and I don't like to do hindsight trading, but it is something that is on the back of my mind here. generally speaking, I am looking for continuation to that $31.5 region, unless we, see price action break below this support at 29.14, 29.15, at which point I would look for a little bit more of a move towards a 21 exponential. And if we break below the 21 exponential, we are at risk of seeing a potential change of behavior on the daily time frame, and first target to the downside, if confirmed, would be 26.33 from my perspective. That's going to do it for Piton, and I think that's going to do it for the stream, you guys. Again, it's a little bit on the shorter side. We didn't have that many requests today. Not a big deal. Usually the first couple of days of the week here are the high request days. So it is what it is, guys, but that's going to wrap it up for me today. Thanks for being here. If you enjoy the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tick that little bell, and we'll see you guys back here Monday night / early Tuesday morning. And until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay